Let me ask you something honest. When was the last time you called yourself lazy? Maybe this morning, maybe last night. Maybe you've said it so many times it doesn't even sting anymore. I'm just lazy. That's it. Case closed. But what if I told you that's not true? What if laziness is not what's stopping you, and something much deeper, much quieter is the real reason you're standing still? Stay with me, because what you're about to hear might change the way you see yourself forever. His name was Arjun, 26 years old, smart enough to know what he wanted, old enough to know time was moving, but somehow stuck. He had a notebook full of ideas, business plans, fitness goals, things he wanted to write, things he wanted to build, pages and pages of plans. But every single morning, he would wake up, make tea, open his phone, and 2 hours would disappear like smoke. By noon, guilt would arrive. By evening, he'd promise himself tomorrow. By night, he'd scroll until his eyes burned. Then, one day, his younger brother asked him something simple. "Bhai, why don't you ever start?" Arjun laughed it off. "I'm just lazy, yaar. It's who I am." His brother looked at him for a moment, then said quietly, "You're not lazy. I've seen you spend 6 hours researching the best laptop to buy. You're not lazy when you care about something." Arjun went quiet. That sentence didn't leave him for weeks. He started paying attention, watching himself, like a scientist studying a stranger, and he noticed something uncomfortable. He wasn't lazy when the stakes were low. He could clean his room for 2 hours, re-watch the same show for the 4th time, cook an elaborate meal just for fun. But the moment he sat down to work on his actual goal, the business he wanted to start, the writing he kept postponing, something happened inside him. His chest got tight. His mind flooded with thoughts. What if it doesn't work? What if people laugh? What if I try everything and still fail? What if I find out I'm not as capable as I hoped? And then, without even realizing it, he'd pick up his phone, or suddenly remember he needed water, or decide that today wasn't a good day to start. The avoidance wasn't random, it was surgical. It only happened when something mattered. He wasn't avoiding work, he was avoiding the possibility of failing at something he cared about. Because if you never try, you never have to face the answer. And that answer, whatever it might be, terrified him more than anything else in the world. One evening, Arjun was sitting alone on his rooftop. It was the kind of silence that feels heavy, the kind that speaks. He looked down at his hands, ordinary hands, nothing special about them. And then a strange thought came to him. He remembered being 8 years old, running in a field, falling, getting up, falling again, laughing. Nobody judged him when he fell then, not even himself. When did that change? When did trying and not succeeding become proof that he wasn't enough? He thought about the notebook full of plans sitting on his desk, not a single line crossed out, because not a single plan had been started. And in that moment, sitting under an open sky in the middle of that quiet, Arjun understood something he had never let himself see clearly before. He wasn't protecting himself from failure. He was protecting a story. The story that said, "I could have done it if only I had tried." That story felt safe. It kept hope alive, untested, unbothered, perfect. But it was also a prison, a beautiful, comfortable prison built brick by brick, one avoided morning at a time. He went back downstairs and opened the notebook. He didn't make a grand plan. He didn't set 100 alarms. He didn't download a productivity app. He just wrote one sentence, one small, imperfect, honest sentence towards the thing he had been avoiding for months. It took him 4 minutes. His heart was beating faster than it should for something so small. His palms were slightly damp, and when he finished that one sentence, he felt something he hadn't felt in a long time. Relief. Not because he had achieved anything, but because the fear had a face now. It wasn't a fog anymore. It was just a sentence, just a beginning. And he realized something. The fear doesn't go away before you start. It goes away because you start. That's the lie we've all been told, that we need to feel ready first, that confidence comes before action. But it works the other way. You don't wait for the fear to leave. You move, and the fear slowly loosens its grip. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is taking that one step while the fear is still standing right beside you. Arjun wasn't a different person that night, but he had stopped lying to himself, and that, quietly, slowly, changed everything. Here is what I want you to take from this story. If you have been calling yourself lazy, stop. Not to be kind to yourself, but because it's simply not the truth. Laziness is when you don't care, but you care. You care deeply. That's exactly why it hurts. That's why guilt shows up every evening. That's why the goals you left behind still live quietly in the back of your mind, waiting. You are not lazy. You are afraid. Afraid of trying and discovering you're not enough. Afraid of people watching you fall. Afraid of losing the version of yourself that still holds promise. The one that could have been great if only given the chance. But here is the hard truth. The longer you protect that untried version of yourself, the more it fades. Not because you failed, but because you never let it breathe. Every dream needs air. It needs action. Even imperfect, shaky, uncomfortable action. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need the right moment. You don't need to feel ready. You need one sentence, one step, one honest attempt. That is how you stop being afraid. Not by conquering the fear completely, but by choosing to move despite it. Tonight, before you sleep, open that notebook or that document or take out a piece of paper. Write one sentence towards the thing you have been avoiding, not because it will fix everything, but because it will show you something important. It will show you that the fear was never as big as it looked from the outside, and that you, even in your most scared, most doubting, most uncertain state, are still capable of moving forward. Arjun's notebook had one line crossed out by the next morning, then 2, then 10. He wasn't fearless. He was just done waiting for the fear to leave first. You are not lazy. You are afraid. And now you know the difference. If this story touched something inside you, like, share, and subscribe. New stories every week for the ones who are still fighting their own mind.